Hello, welcome back. I am so excited to be talking to you today. I am super fired up about what we're going to talk about in this episode. And the funny thing is, I had actually decided to take a break from my podcast, and then I saw this and I'm like, no, I need to release an episode on this because this is costing so many people not only their financial income, but it's costing them mental headspace. It is lowering their energy. It is causing them to not make the sales that they want to make in their business and to slow their financial freedom down. So what the hell am I talking about? Let's talk about this. Stop giving away everything for free. I know, pause, take a breath. That just scared a lot of people who are listening to this episode. But what I want to do is I want to have a serious conversation about this because this is something that I am seeing in the coaching industry, in the consulting industry, in the whole info space, and it is so not smart business strategy. So let me just give you a little bit of context. Recently, I joined a program that promised us it was going to be all about helping us to up-level our speaking abilities, to become a profitable speaker. Now, when I got into the program, this is what I saw. And it goes so against everything that I teach in my programs and in the Explode Your Sales workshop. The first thing that they talked about is creating a free masterclass or webinar. How many of you have been on a webinar and you're like, holy crap, this is just a huge bunch of fluff. The first 20 minutes is all about them. Then you get like 5 to 10 minutes of content and then the whole 40 minutes is a sales pitch. How many of you will not get on webinars anymore because you value your time and you know you're not going to get that much out of them anyway? There are so many of us, especially those high quality leads who don't want to waste their time. They want and value their time highly. So then they're talking about, well, don't call it a webinar, call it a masterclass. A thing by a different name is still the thing. And they were talking about how you deliver 3 secrets and then you sell them into a free call. Let's talk about that then, shall we? If you want time free, call after call after call is definitely not the way to do it. You do not want to be leading people from social media to a free call even. And the reason being is you haven't got a qualified lead that you're getting on a call with. At least if they've come through a masterclass and at the end of the masterclass, you are offering them a call. Cool. At least they've listened to your system. You've built the know, like, and trust factor. That is a way better way of doing it. But the truth is, if you are doing free call after free call after free call, your time freedom is non-existent. Now, I got onto a call the other day with a woman who accelerator audit call, and she had just been on 7 calls. 7 calls. Now, I don't know about you, but if you've ever done call after call after call like I have done, first of all, your voice gets tired. Second of all, your brain gets tired. Now, how do you think about 3 calls into that? Your energy is. Your energy is low. You're sick of doing it. You feel resentful towards it. Now, how do you think that converts? It doesn't convert. So having call after call after call back to back, and she said to me, oh, that's okay because I was networking. You are a business. It is not about networking. It is about actually making money and having time freedom and having heart-led impact. Now, I want to talk about this for a second, just the free aspect of it for a second. Our industry is the only industry where we are told we need to be free. Wait, what? Hold up, huh? If you go into a mechanic and you say to him, I want you to just start working on my car for an hour and a half. Can you just work on it for an hour and a half? Don't worry, it's free. I'll sign up to your email list. The mechanic's going to look at you and laugh. If you go into a vet or even call a vet, which I tried to do the other day when my animal was sick and needed to move on to the Rainbow Bridge, right? If you call them and say, I just need you to answer this question for me, they're like, cool, happy to answer that question, but you need to come in. You need to pay a consultation. If you walk into a store and you say, hey, can I just try out your clothes for an hour and a half and then I'll bring them back? They're going to say, heck no. But we in this industry are being taught as business owners that everything needs to be free. Like, how freaking insane is that? This is the exact reason that so many people burn out, that so many people hate their business, that so many people are projecting negative, bitter energy onto their clients when they get on these calls, because you don't want to be on them and you don't want to be paid nothing. Now, let's go back to this program. So I paid $2,000 for this program, which equates to about $3,500 Australian dollars, right? So they're teaching you free masterclass to free course to free beta program. How freaking insane is this? Now, I know there are some people out there who are just starting and maybe they don't have confidence fully yet in charging high ticket prices, but it is our job as coaches to help them to move past those blocks, to create an offer that is so freaking amazing that they love it. They can't help but sell it. To go from that, oh my God, sales is icky and yuck, and I'm not worth it, to I freaking love this and I'm so worth it. Did they do that? No. Their whole program was based around free call, free masterclass, free beta program. Isn't that insane? Like, just pause for a second. You've paid, in my case, like $3,000 to get into this offer, and everything they're teaching me is free. How the hell would I make the money back? You don't. And this is what irritates me about so many programs. Now, this is a person who herself rarely showed up on the training. She's like, I'm with you every step of the way. And she wasn't even there. Collectively, over 6 weeks or 8 weeks, she may have been there maybe 3 hours collectively. But these are the coaches that people are buying into, and then they get disappointed in themselves. They feel down on themselves. They feel like they're not good enough, smart enough. Nobody's going to buy their products. When it's not them, it's the strategy, the sales strategy that they're using to make sales. People get on those masterclasses and they're like, oh yeah, I can do this myself. How are you helping them then? If you don't get them to buy, how do you actually help them to get results? Because people think they can do it for themselves, but the truth is we hire people, we get into programs because if we could do it on our own, we would, but we can't. And when we can't do it on our own, or we're sick of being on free YouTube, free Facebook Lives, free posts, free lead magnets, free workshops, and we're willing to put money in the game, that is when true results happen. True results don't happen when you are chasing freebies. True results won't happen for your clients either when there's no money in the game. Let's talk about this for a minute. On this masterclass, we were told, now I have an established workshop that I run. It is not a webinar. I am not 20 minutes of pitching me. This is a pen to paper, get to work. Let's bust some beliefs. Let's design an offer. Let's get your strategy in place kind of workshop. I don't believe in fluff. This is a doing workshop. I charge for that workshop. Why? Because I value my skills. I value the time, the money that I have invested to have the skills that I have. Now, you might be at the beginning. And when I was at the beginning, I fell into this trap of free this, cheap that. And you know what happened? I ended up quitting because I was working myself into the ground. I was getting up and writing sales copy for someone 7 times who was so indecisive she had no freaking clue. And oh, you know, the customer's always right. So I had to, no, the customer isn't always right, because if they were always right and they knew it, they wouldn't be coming to you. So stand in your power. This is where it comes into play. I want you to start thinking about being a honest to God, true business owner. Not an online entrepreneur who is here 1 minute next. I want you to start thinking about a sales strategy that is profitable. Because what good is a list of 10,000 freebie hunters who are going from free thing to free thing to free thing? A list of 1,000 true loyal raving fans who will keep buying from you no matter what you put out. Those loyal raving fans, they come into your workshops, your paid workshops. They come into your paid programs. They stay in your paid programs because they want to be around your energy, because you value yourself, you know your worth. So this is where we come back. Free people don't convert at a high rate. If you have a list of 10,000 people, the industry rate of conversion is 1 to 5% roughly. Yet all these experts are like, do a free lead magnet. That was the last thing that she closed out the 8-week program where there's a free lead magnet. So do a free lead magnet, put people on your list. When you have people on your list, email them regularly. Yeah, but you have a list full of freebie hunters who have not put any money, any skin in the game to show that they're willing to pay to solve this problem. And as a result, you have a low conversion rate. However, statistics show that when people have paid, even if it's only $9, like the basic level of my workshop is $9, you have to show up live, but that's the basic price of my workshop. That, even putting that in the game, proves to me that you're willing to take out your credit card and invest to solve the problem that I help you to solve. Putting that person on the list, that has a 10 to 50% conversion rate. So let's think about this for a second. 10,000 people on your list, which is what everybody's trying to grow to. 10,000 followers here and 10,000 followers there and 10,000 email lists. But which would you rather? Sit down and do the maths on this. 10,000 people with a 1 to 3% conversion rate. And you can see this. Go look at some of the big names and the number of followers they have versus the interaction. Take the number of comments or take the number of likes on the post and divide it by the number of followers. If it's around the 1 to 3%, that is not the person that you want to be, because you have to work so much harder when you're doing mass marketing. Whereas if you have 1,000 people who convert at a 30% or even 50%, that is 300 to 500 people that will convert to the next thing if you do the right thing by them in the other stuff. Do you see the power in this? Instead of having free this and free that, you need to work to build your confidence in your offers, to build your confidence in what you provide for people, to have systems behind you to know that your program, whatever price tag you put on it, is worth that amount of money. That is what we as coaches and people who are leading other people and bringing other people up should be teaching. So what is a profitable sales strategy? And we talk about this in the Explode Your Sales workshop in depth. We bust the money beliefs. We bust the offer issues. We bust the whole freaking, you need to have 60,000 things, because if you're in content creation overwhelmed, you're not making the money. And if you're not making the money, you're more likely to quit. Who would rather have 3 things, just 3 things they do freaking so well and they keep tweaking so the conversion rate increases, rather than having to create systems for 50 different lead magnets, 3 webinars, a new workshop, a new course, a new program? This is where people lose their mastery. They are losing their mastery because they're constantly creating new stuff, and in the creating of new stuff, they're not fine-tuning the old stuff and getting it to a mastery level. If you look at people like Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins, Brendan Burchard, all of those people, they have signature speeches, signature components they're repeating over and over again. They're not constantly creating new stuff. They may be adding new stuff in there, but the structure, if you really look at the presentations, the structure is the same. And why do they do that? Because when they do that, they become a master in that. And this is what we talk about as well, is having a method and a blueprint that you are a master at, that you know gets people from where they are to being a success story. These are the things that make a huge difference. But if you're launching a new lead magnet and you're launching a new masterclass and you're launching a new webinar, guess what? You are constantly filling your list with freebie hunters. And yes, some of them will convert into buyers, but it is so much harder than just converting a buyer into a buyer. So how do you do it? Like, what is a smart sales strategy? Here is what I recommend to my clients. 3 funnels. Now, if you think you're not tech savvy, this is going to help you, because you are automating only 3 things. And the best part is we can do it stupidly fast. Which would you rather? Spend 6 weeks like I have done in a program that teaches you to be free, or spend 3 days live with me and just get it done? Just get it launched. And then you spend the rest of those 6 weeks marketing and making freaking money. Boom. First thing, you need a signature presentation. If you don't have a signature presentation right now, if you don't have a signature method, you will struggle. because you don't have an exact process that you're following. I know the exact things when I get on a podcast interview, depending on the time. I know I have things that I can pull from it. And if you look at Tony Robbins as an example, Tony Robbins does the same thing. When he gets on a presentation, he isn't talking about something random. He's talking about the 3 mindset shifts you need to get to the next level. He's talking about the 5 physiology things that helps you to become a successful entrepreneur. Guess what? They're all pulled out chunks from his signature presentation. He can make it a 3-minute thing. He can make it a 10-minute thing. He can make it a 3-day thing. But it all comes down to that thing. And that thing is a traffic tool. So he has people coming to him for that signature presentation. I massively agree with video presentations, right? Getting on and doing a masterclass, although it should not be free, it should be paid, and it should not just be a bunch of fluff, it should be high value, because in that high value, you're showing people that you know what you're talking about. So you lead people to this signature presentation, your workshop, paid. It might be a $7 workshop. It might be a $9 workshop if they show up live. The reason I have learned this the hard way again this week, if they don't show up live, most likely the majority of people won't show up on the replay. And if they don't show up on the replay, guess what? You can't change their life because you can't bring them into your program, which is going to help them to get the results in your signature way. So you have that ticket is $7, $9, whatever you decide. You can make it $97. If you're an accountant or you have a really strong belief in it, it doesn't have to be low ticket. So there's another thing for you. If you want to raise your income fast, then raise the price of the first part of it. Raise the price of your traffic tool. And the good thing about that is it incentivizes people to join venture with you. It incentivizes affiliates, because if I give 50% of that traffic tool to an affiliate who brings people to me, boom, they're bringing people to me all the time. Because do you know a business owner right now who doesn't want to make extra money in their business? I don't. So you can give them 50% of that traffic tool because they're bringing people to you. The last workshop that I ran had 16 people on it. Now, some people are going to be like, oh, it's only 16. Yeah, but I have a conversion rate of 50. So you might have 50 people on it and have a conversion rate of 10, and I have 16 people on it and have a conversion rate of 50%. You see here, again, it comes down to 1, knowing your numbers, which is something that a lot of people don't know. They know the superficial numbers, like how much they want to earn. They may know how many of their offer they need to sell, but there are deeper level numbers that when you know these numbers, you can predict your income. You can create any income level you want when you know these numbers. And we talk about that in the Explode Your Sales workshop as well. We help you to know how to have predictable income in your business by reverse engineering your numbers. Again, back to this tool. So we have our presentation. Now, I'm not doing a fluff-filled workshop. I'm not doing a fluff-filled webinar. I'm not doing a fluff-filled free masterclass. I do a free masterclass with the goal of selling people into my workshop, but that is done on my personal profile where people can share it and tag people. I'm not putting it in a group because I do not want the extra barrier of resistance. People don't like being in groups these days, especially since that @everyone tag came out, and suddenly you're getting spam-a-lam-a-led in every single group you're in. I might do a free masterclass on my personal profile where my affiliates can tag their leads, where I can tag my leads, where people can watch and share it. So that is where you can do your free masterclass. And if you structure it right, it gets people into your traffic tool and it gives your affiliates a way to get people to connect with you. Something I saw this week, which it's just such bad marketing. A woman messaged me, like I woke up to being added to a group message with some expert I didn't know. And there was this really long sales message about how awesome she is and one line about Faith does this. Talk about burning a lead. I left the group straight away and I messaged her and I said, you need to ask permission before you do that, because when you do that, it is spamming people. What had happened though, if instead of doing that, that leader, whoever she was, I didn't even read it, to be honest. If it's this long message, I'm skipping through it. What had happened if that leader had done a masterclass or a live of some kind? Because let's be honest, live video builds rapport fast. It builds trust fast. It shows your expertise fast. Because if you do live video right, people know you can't hide. In a written post, you can hide, you can make up shit, but in a live one, you can't. So you might do the free masterclass on your Facebook page where everybody can tag everybody. That woman could have tagged me in that video and I could have gotten to know that woman rather than just adding me to some group and, like I just left and I felt burned, I felt ambushed. But this is what a lot of people are teaching, right? But instead you have that video on your page that everybody can tag and share in. You're not doing it in a group, which means you're not fighting with another freaking Facebook algorithm, right? You just do it on your personal profile. That then leads to your traffic tool. Now your traffic tool, I have a 50% commission rate on it. And the reason I have such a high commission rate is I don't want to be on social media all the time. Right? I love being on social media and connecting with it, but I do not want to spend 7 hours a day on social media. And if you don't have an affiliate program and if you don't have joint venture partners that are bringing people to your offer, it is the fastest way to spend all of your life on social media. Anyway, bring them to that thing. That thing sells them to the next thing. If you wanted to do a free call, then you can make a stay to the end bonus. That is your free call, right? A free call can be needed if you're selling them into something that is higher than 2,000. So if people are coming on your workshop and you have a program that's higher than 2,000, then yes, most likely you're going to need a call in order to convert. But again, the way that people are structuring the calls is causing them to lose sales, because I know I did this. People used to get on the call with me and I used to pour so much value into them that they felt like they had stuff to do and they didn't need to hire me. Like, raise your hand to yourself if you've ever done that. Like, you've put people on a call and then you're like, oh crap, I just gave them everything they needed and now they won't hire me. So there is a structure to a call as well if you're going to do a call, okay? We have all these systems and we have all of these frameworks for you to use. We don't give you scripts, but we give you frameworks. And the reason is nobody wants to be scripted to. You don't want to get on a call that sounds like a script someone's reading out, do you? You know straight away the sales pitch is coming, right? So there's a way to do that too. But then you lead them to your core offer. Now, if you're just starting, this core offer might be, say, a 4-week live coaching experience for $497, $997. If you're more experienced like me, then if you want to have a mid-ticket amplifier, which is what we call this, then you might have a $1,000 offer. Or you can skip the $1,000 offer and go straight to the 3 to 5K offer. Again, though, you're creating a traffic tool, which is your workshop. You're creating your core offer. That is the 2 funnels you need. Now, the third funnel that I recommend is a affiliate. And this is where people can sign up to be an affiliate and we create really simple email to let them know how to promote. Simple as that. That is how easy it can be. Those 3 funnels can hit 6 figures, multiple 6 figures. You have a traffic tool that gets people into your next thing. Now, obviously, if you have a call, you need a call funnel so that you are automated completely from beginning to end. And you have when you get on calls, this was another mistake. I had to learn it again this week. When you have people come on free calls, you need to have qualifying questions. If they don't fill out that qualifying question, or maybe their answers don't align with the kind of person that you want to work with, you want to make sure you don't get on a free call with them, because time is our most important asset. And when you have so many calls and they're not aligned clients, they're not clients that you want to work with or who would buy, you are wasting your time. That is the straight truth. So when you're getting on calls, if you don't have qualifying questions, dude, you're wasting your time, straight up. These are the very simple systems, and the best part is we can build it in 3 days. And that is what my Business Accelerator Bootcamp is all about. We're working together in a 4-week system, but we're doing the majority of the work in 3 days. Now, which would you rather, spend 6 weeks trying to figure it out on your own, or get on a live with me and just have it built? Done. When it's done, guess what your only job is then? Marketing. As you market, you listen to what people say and you can tweak your content in your signature workshop. You can, like, as you get the objections and you get the limiting beliefs, you can switch the content in your workshop. Then you can switch maybe your sales funnel a bit, learn different headlines or hooks that creates better conversion. Guess what all of this does? It brings you to mastery. And when you get to mastery, your conversion rate is higher. When your conversion rate is higher on the right stuff, money becomes effortless. Money becomes easy to predict. You can turn on the money tap anytime you need. You can turn it up to full power if there's something that you really want to buy or something you really want to invest in. And on the months where you just want to go on holiday and do freaking nothing, you can turn the tap down. This is a smart leverage strategy. Stop doing everything for free, because the real businesses, right, they're not. They value their time. They value all the money that they've spent in education, in traineeships, in experience, right? Why aren't we as coaches and life business this, and why aren't we valuing ourselves like they value themselves? It is because we are being taught an outdated, old school method that is causing so many people to quit. I am so fired up about this because you deserve more than free. I don't care what price tag you charge, because I know that as your belief and your mastery grows, you will want to increase that price tag. But start somewhere with a price tag. Start somewhere and then grow it. But don't be free. You are a business. You have bills to pay. Value yourself. And if you don't know how to do that, get your booty into the workshop, because we're working on the limiting beliefs, especially the limiting money beliefs, because we as women have a freaking lot of them that's been passed down the generations to us. So we're working on that. We are helping you to reverse engineer your goals so you can create the money you want to create at any time. Turn it on, turn it off. And I do this myself. There are periods where I'm in launch mode and I turn on the money tap, and then there are periods where I turn it off and I go and do whatever I want. I don't have to be in hustle all the time because I know how to turn it on, I know how to turn it off. And you can have that kind of freedom. You may want to have just a consistent trickle. That is up to you. This is what it's about. Value yourself. Know that you are worth more than free, and don't freaking invest in programs that only tell you to be free, because you will never get a return of investment on those programs. And the other thing that I'll say on a side note, this program was sneaky. They made their terms and conditions so that by the time you realize they weren't teaching you anything but fluff and rubbish, you couldn't get out. Don't be that person that traps people into programs that get them no results. Be the person of integrity, where every program you create is designed to get them a result, to get them some kind of return on investment for their time with you. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to be money. Let's just say you are a sex coach, as an example. If they have an amazing relationship with their husband, do they feel happier? Absolutely. Do they feel more confident about themselves? Absolutely. What does that actually mean? That means that they might be showing up in their business better. It means they might be showing up in their relationships better. It means that they're showing up in their life in a different way. So look at the results that you can get them by the end of whatever program it is, and get them to come from desire. They desire to have these results. But don't be the person that signs people up for a $2,000 offer with no chance of ever getting any return of any kind on that thing. Because the only thing that I learned from that offer was, don't do that to other people. And of course, I made some amazing connections. So that is a fabulous thing as well. But I just had to come live into my podcast, even though I was supposed to be on sabbatical, and talk about this because I see it so often, and I'm so sad for the people who aren't charging. You can bring high quality people to your list and charge and make your money. And you know what? If they don't want to pay for the smaller stuff, they're probably not going to pay for the bigger stuff because they're not ready. It's not that they're a bad person, maybe, or that they don't value. It is just that they're not ready. When they're ready to put money in the game, to solve the problem, to get the solutions and the feelings and the being and the having of whatever it is that you do, they'll put money in the game. Until then, love them on social media. Do maybe your masterclass or your live video on social media to help them, but your offers are your paid things. And if you simplify them, so like we've talked about, you have a traffic tool. Maybe you have a mid-ticket offer because you're still growing your confidence around sales. And you have a high ticket offer. That is all. You don't need to be tech savvy when it's that simple, but you need to be tech savvy when you've got 50 lead magnets that all need email sequences, when you've got 4 different courses that all need content. That is when you start to need to be tech savvy because of the sheer volume of stuff that you're doing. So I hope this episode has helped you in some way. There are links around this episode to reach out to me, drop your biggest aha moment, message me on social media. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And just remember, you don't have to be free. You're a freaking business. You've worked hard to gain your knowledge. You have invested money. You deserve to be paid. You truly can earn more, work less, so you have the time to live the freaking happy life that you start your business for. My name is Faith. I am so excited to talk to you on social media, and I look forward to seeing you in the Explode Your Sales workshop the next time that I run it live. Bye for now.